Hey there. You're listening to True Story No Cap. Real stories, no exaggeration, no lies. Just the raw, unfiltered moments life throws our way. Relax, lean back, and let's get started. Kate, clutching a black marker, slowly circled yet another date on the wall calendar. A thought struck her. She needed red. The coming event was joyful, yet a dark mark on a bright page looked mournful, almost funereal. Wasn't it bad luck to record happy days in such a gloomy color? She counted the ringed numbers and sighed. Exactly 2 months remained until the due date set by the local clinic. Her first pregnancy, full of worries and mood swings, flung her between tears and giddy leaps of joy. Only yesterday, her husband Anthony had caught her happily gnawing on pieces of white school chalk. Every scan said they were expecting a boy. His mother, Margaret, and Anthony had already bought mountains of baby things, all in the traditional blues. Who had invented those silly rules about which colors suited which sex? Empty conventions that changed neither health nor happiness. The clinic doctor, on the other hand, had sounded the alarm. Mom-to-be, your calcium is critically low. Milk, cottage cheese, and spoil yourself with poppy seed buns, but don't overdo it or you'll gain weight. If you don't fill the gap by term, your teeth won't last. How many have you filled already, and 2 even had to be pulled? Kate was stunned, but as always her own mother, Vera, soothed her over the phone with tried-and-true advice. Sweetheart, Paul and I nibbled half the whitewash off the stairwell as kids. When I was pregnant, no one talked of special diets. Some buckwheat, a bit of beef, and a pack of butter a week. That was our whole vitamin set. Buy a box of plain chalk, crunch a few pieces, and your calcium will come right. Just don't take the colored sort. Beauty's useless. Benefit's what counts. Kate laughed at the idea. Pharmacies were bursting with shiny supplements that claimed to fix everything. She mistrusted those wonder pills. Fate had other plans. A studious little girl, Margaret called her the impossible swat, lived on their landing. 2 days later, Kate met her outside the stationery shop. Auntie Kate, teacher says I must buy colored paper and paints for tomorrow. Mum's on the late shift and I'm scared to go in alone. Let's go, Kate smiled. I haven't browsed copybooks in ages and I need a pattern album. They roamed every aisle. Kate saw a box of snow-white chalk and instantly craved a taste. She bought 2. Once home and sure Margaret was out, she tried her loot. Kate was already on maternity leave, a blessing, except for spending all day with meticulous Margaret. Better the fresh air than the old rat, as she secretly called her mother-in-law. Margaret considered Kate an uncouth provincial. In the porcelain cup kitchen, the young woman felt like a bull in a china shop. During the first visit, no tea was served in the grand living room. Too much honor for the backwoods girl, whose village had gained mobile reception only 2 years earlier. Kate lowered her head, remembering life in her grandfather's cottage. It felt 1,000 years ago. She would never have chanced the big city had Granddad not died. Peacefully, mid-sip of samovar tea, aged 90. Vera had borne Kate late, to a traveling manager. The vivacious shopgirl's figure, tiny waist, ample hips, generous bust, made village wives guard their husbands. At school, she'd been dubbed our mini Venus. By 18, Vera suddenly shot up to 118 beepers. Everything grew proportionally. Men avoided the statuesque marvel. At college, she fell for a city basketballer, quickly conceived, panicked, and had an illegal abortion. The doctor later warned she might never bear again. She took it calmly. Who thinks of motherhood at 18? Vera's mother died young in a tomato field. Father raised her lovingly but plainly. Neighbors whispered about her curves. He called her beautiful. Finish college and come home. Our house still needs grandchildren, he'd say. She obeyed. Running the village store and later the adjoining tavern, she kept local men at arm's length, indulging only traveling drivers. Generous, she'd let a penniless customer take boots now and pay later. Kate's father, Leon, was short and slight but a master of romance. At Vera's counter he froze, then recited poetry, probably his own. Orchids, French perfume, seaside trips, he adored her. One flaw, he was married. His city wife tolerated his adventures. When Vera fell pregnant at 40, Leon vanished forever, leaving her and Granddad overjoyed at the unexpected child. Years later, a 2-meter German engineer arrived, fell for Vera, and proposed life in the Alps without Kate. Granddad and Vera decided she should go find happiness. Kate would stay with him. In Germany, she bore a son, Paul, visited every few years, but her frugal husband forbade lavish help to Russian kin. Village folk loved young Kate, Vera's miniature copy. "You belong on a city stage," they teased. "Nonsense," she'd laugh, dreaming of culinary school. After Granddad died, she moved to the regional capital, worked in a factory cafe, and met Anthony. One afternoon, Anthony, site manager of a high-rise going up beside the plant, came for lunch. Kate's sparkling eyes and hidden sadness caught him. Her playful quote, "both, and hold the bread," made him laugh. A rose, a co-worker's birthday party, a dance. Soon they were inseparable. A month later, Kate blushed. She was pregnant. They married quietly. Kate moved into Margaret's elegant flat, unaware her mother-in-law saw her as a mere vessel for a grandchild. Late one shift, Kate attended a friend's hen night in a bar where a rock band played. There she met Theo, the black-haired guitarist friends called Raven. After too many sweet cocktails, her tights ripped. Theo bought her leggings and snow, music and chance. One thing led to another. He left at dawn, promising nothing, yet the encounter etched itself on her heart. Some weeks later, Kate realized Theo had been her first, and by then she was with Anthony. When Johnny was born, his dark curls stung Kate's conscience. Still, she resolved to tell Anthony the truth one day. She never got the chance. News crashed in. Anthony had fallen from the 25th floor and died. Shock threatened Kate's pregnancy. Doctors saved the baby, forbade the funeral. Margaret, also hospitalized, arranged everything. The coffin closed. Rumors found no answers. The accident file gathered dust. Johnny's birth brought fragile peace. Margaret doted, showering him with Deluxe gear. Kate, drained, let her. But late one night she overheard Margaret on the phone. "I can't wait till Tony comes home. A whole year tolerating that butterball just for a grandchild. The show worked perfectly. She believes he's dead. Soon we'll take the boy." Kate froze. Anthony alive? A cruel trick? The next day, when Margaret slept, she packed essentials and fled to Granddad's village with Johnny. Anthony, indeed alive, hidden abroad by Margaret, soon discovered her plot to replace Kate with glamorous yet barren Liz. Furious, he returned to Russia and traced Kate to the village. She met him on the porch, Johnny in arms. "Kate, sweetheart, forgive me. Let's leave Mother behind." "You're mistaken," she said calmly. "Johnny isn't your son." She offered him shelter for the night, then a DNA test to confront Margaret. Anthony reeled but silently accepted he deserved the pain. Kate rebuilt life in the village, cooking for a small dairy plant that let her keep Johnny nearby. A letter from late Granddad containing modest savings gave her courage. She kept her promise. The test proved Johnny wasn't Anthony's, and Margaret's dreams collapsed. Years passed. Anthony rented a flat, cut ties with Liz, and tolerated his mother's complaints in silence. His only joy was Johnny's spirited grin when he visited. Meanwhile, Theo, now Theodore the corporate lawyer, could never forget the vanilla donut from that snowy night. At a city gala, he tasted exquisite canapes, begged the restaurateur to meet the chef, and there stood Kate, heading a new catering wing. She didn't recognize the sleek man at first. After work, on the dark street, he caught her arm. "Kate, it's me. Theo, you're Raven." Words spilled. She confessed Johnny's existence. At her door, she asked, "Shall I tell him you're Daddy or Uncle Theo? If you don't want the responsibility, say so." Just then, Johnny burst out. Black curls, Theo's eyes. "Hello, son," Theo said softly. "Let's go home. I have so much to tell you and a long apology to make for being gone so long." High above, two parallel lines met, seen by no one save the man with raven hair, the bright-eyed boy, and the warm-hearted woman who still smelled faintly of vanilla.